Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, and wanted to share with you what's happened this week before I go on vacation. Woo! Going out for 2 weeks up to our home in the mountains, but I wanted to share with you what's transpired since my last video. So I went to meet with my primary care physician to get the referral letter that is required from the bariatric center for weight loss surgery. So basically it has to be a letter that has to be very specific and has to give specific points as to why you are requiring the surgery, that your primary care physician supports it, and what they've known about you and what your struggles have been, and that they're aware that you've tried to lose weight. So it's just kind of this is the last solution for this person, and this is what I've known of his or her struggles with weight loss. I'm all crooked, it feels like I'm all like, so anyways, so how that went, well, here's the catch, right? I haven't been to a primary care physician in about 3 years, and the gentleman, the doctor that was my physician, I just didn't like him. I mean, they're like 5 minutes away from my home, and I just did not like the service. I didn't like nothing. There's just nothing about it I liked. So when I decided that I was going to look into weight loss surgery and I went to the bariatric center, I thought, oh shit, I don't have a primary care. So how in the world am I going to set an appointment with somebody who just met me and say, hi, I'm thinking about weight loss surgery, right? Fortunately or unfortunately, I've also been suffering from some really bad migraines in the last year. So postpartum, I've had these horrific headaches, and my fiance, Joseph, has been saying for some time, you need to go see a doctor. So I said, okay, well, this is great because I can speak about this and dovetail into the weight loss surgery, and it not just be a, hi, I'm here for you to refer me, you know nothing about me kind of a session. So let me go ahead and tell you how that went. I made my appointment, and they were taking new patients, because that's the other thing. You have to find a physician. If this is your situation, you have to find a physician that's taking new patients. And then I went in and I saw the doctor, and I explained to her, well, they take your vitals. So blood pressure, your weight, your height, and by the your weight, your height. And by the way, I mean, if you've been stepping on the scale and you've been, doing the online calculators, you know what your BMI is going to be. So it's not like you're going to be surprised when you go in there. My fear was that I may be too low and then I wouldn't qualify, because you need to have a BMI of 40 or 35. Below 40, you have to have two comorbidities. So they took my vitals, so my blood pressure and my weight, my height, and sure enough, he says, oh, okay, your BMI is this. This was the nurse. Then I went with the doctor, and she came in, and I talked to her about my migraines, which are really, really crappy, and they really suck. And if anybody out there has migraines, or if you know someone and you don't experience them, they're not exaggerating, okay? They're not exaggerating. It's painful. So I spoke to her about that and the frequency of my migraines. And then I said, and I'm also having issues with my weight, and I want to look into, or I have been looking into, weight loss surgery. Now, let me go ahead and tell you that I was nervous saying that, because she doesn't know me. Like, she doesn't know me from Adam, right? So, okay. So I went ahead and I explained to her that I've done Weight Watchers many years ago. I did Fen. Before that, I had done over-the-counter, right? Everybody remembers Hydroxycut. Are they still even around? So Hydroxycut, that was way back in the day. And then even the B12 one, where you go into the doctor who does all this stuff, but at the end you just get a B12 shot and the little pills. So I explained all of that to her, and how my weight had still fluctuated. I also shared with her the success and failures of Weight Watchers and how it made me feel in each instance. And I wasn't expecting this, but I actually cried. Like, I got teary, because I was like, you know what, this is a real effing struggle. And it's embarrassing to tell someone how many times you've tried something and failed. And she asked me, do you exercise? And I explained to her, right now my job is really crazy. I'm starting to balance that out. But I used to have a personal trainer, like, you know, check, check, check kind of thing. So she asked me what it is that I wanted to do. I told her about the sleeve, and I said, and I need a referral letter from you to the bariatric center. And she goes, okay, so what am I supposed to put on this letter? And here's where it gets kind of weird. Of course, the bariatric center gave me like this sample letter, and they are very specific on what they need for your letter to say. Whomever you go see may have a form of their own, may have a sample for you to take to your primary care physician, or may tell you specific points that you need to give to your primary care. So that then they draft the letter on their letterhead with their signature to then go back. So here's funny, as she was reading this sample letter, like, I could see this furrowing of her brow, and then this thing of like, yeah, it's just that. It was like, right? Like, and it's not like they were asking, you know, please name your first child after us, swearing that this is what's, you know, what this patient has said to you. But you can tell that this woman is kind of like, what? So she wrote the letter. She gave it to me to read, and she said, okay, so is that sufficient? I said, well, I won't know, but it covers basically my height, my BMI, my weight. She documented my struggles with the weight loss, and, you know, that because of my height, I'm 5'8", by the way, 5'8", 267 when I weighed in at the doctor's. Because of my height, weight, then my BMI was like 41.3 or something like that. And that she did find that I would be a good candidate for weight loss surgery. Why does that like escape me? So anyways, that's how it went. And when I got the letter from her, I felt like this relief, right? Because that was the first step, right? And now I have it, and now this doctor has documented it once. So if I don't choose the facility that I'm really leaning towards right now, at least there's something on record that she can just pull up and do with a different letter, with a different doctor's address and information. And then I won't have to go through that awkward talking about my failures. Like, I did not expect to cry. Like, I wasn't like, whoa, I cried. But I was like, this is, like, I don't know if it was because I felt embarrassment for myself, or if I was just, but it really did, like, going through all of those efforts and being there kind of, you know, that was the first time that I'd actually voiced all that outside of my partner. So it took a moment, but I did get my letter. I needed some additional tests, so, and not necessarily for blood work, which were the lipid panel and a urinalysis, as well as TS3, TS4, definitely a cholesterol panel. And so she ordered those, and of course I immediately, yesterday I was out of the state, I traveled for business, and I fasted when I came back, so that today I would be like clear. And first thing this morning, I went and did my labs for that, so I should be getting my results soon, or at least sometime next week, when I'm on vacation. How fun is that, hearing about my cholesterol levels when I'm on vacation? So, but yeah, so that's how that went. It was more, I will say it was more me feeling judgment of myself, speaking to the doctor about my failed attempts at weight loss. But once I got the letter, I felt good, and I immediately faxed it over, or scanned it and emailed it over to my the bariatric center, so they would have it on record. And now I am currently waiting for my first diet class, which is September 19th or so. Yeah, so that's where I am today. We leave for the mountains for the next 2 weeks tonight, and I might get some footage in up there. It all depends what happens or what doesn't happen, or how busy I am, which I have like, anyways, I won't get into that. So between now and the next video, or the next thing that I have to document for you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll speak to you soon.